bet I had heard that. Okay, should I keep this on? Should I? Let's take it off. You'll tell me if that stops recording, right? Welcome to my desk. So today I'm going to tell you about the books that I got from the library and the books I bought from Barnes and Target. It is October, so apparently that means you're supposed to be reading fall vibes. Fall vibes always seem to be fantasy. Fantasy is something I never read. So we're gonna start with the safe one. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I've already had this because it was supposed to be a book club pick. But you know, every time book club started to come around, no one had read anything. So we'll get to that eventually. This is about a witch. It says a warm and uplifting novel about an isolated witch whose opportunity to embrace a quirky new family and a new love changes the course of her life. Sure, I heard it was great, but I heard that from people who love fantasy. So we'll see. The other on brand for this whole vibe thing I've got going on is very controversial, and that is Fourth Wing. If you told me a year ago I would be reading Fourth Wing, I think I would have told you to reevaluate who you're talking to. This is not me. Forget the fact that it's romantasy. Again, fantasy. And the girls love it or they hate it. Kind of like how I feel about this ponytail right now, but we're gonna let it rock. Anywho, so far so good, but I'll let you know more about that later. Right now we're going through the haul. Everything else I bought or borrowed is not in the fantasy, or it's not in the fall category, I don't think, but it's more up my alley and more of the things that I want to read. That's that on that. Okay, next we're gonna get into the rest of what I bought. I bought these two. They're a part of the, is it the Part of Your World series, or is there an entirely different name? They're interconnected standalones. Part of Your World was a 5-star for me. It's much more up my alley. So I'm ready to get into these. Apparently these are better than Part of Your World. How that can be, I have no idea, but count me in. It's Yours Truly by Abby Jiminez and Just for the Summer, also by Abby Jiminez. Next is Beach Read by Emily Henry. Now, my friends love her, ? Is love her the word? Love her, yeah. But then there's also this discrepancy between what book is better, what book is meh. I've never really heard anyone say her books were terrible. And I've also heard that they're a bit more serious than you expect. But seeing as Emily Henry has a blurb on one of the Part of Your World books. Is it this one? No, that's Hazelwood. Yes. Emily Henry has a blurb on Just for the Summer. And I believe that, not critique, that description or that descriptor for the author being portrayed as a lighthearted little thing to read, but incorporating heavier topics. I think that's pretty consistent for both of them. So I think I'm going to like this. I hope I'm going to like it. I'm not really one to go in trying to be a hater. So, okay. Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. I've already read The Love Hypothesis and the 3 novellas that came after that, I believe. This, however, I have not read. I do understand the critique that all her books are similar in terms of the plot, but I don't really care. So we move. Oh, and I borrowed that from the library. Now we're on the library track. I have When I Think of You by Myah Ariel. I don't really see many POC books at my library, which is highly disappointing. I'm going to choose to internalize that as everyone has it on their shelf. Everyone is borrowing it before I can get to it. Not that they're not at the library. Am I saying library? Library. Library. Not that they're not at the library, because that would be blasphemy. But I picked this up. I don't think I'll be reading it in October. But if there's anything I am, it is a mood reader. So this is to be determined. Now that I think of it, I haven't actually created my TBR. My in theory TBR. Let's keep that in mind. Last from the library is Hello Stranger by Kathrine Center. I've already read The Bodyguard. I think I gave it 4.75 stars. I was into it. So I'm ready to get into this. I believe this one has disability rep. Am I making that up? There's no description. Oh, okay. Okay, she does land herself in the hospital, so there's something going on. So those are all the books that I got this past weekend or so. As far as what I'm actually going to read this month, it really is up to the wind what that will be. But here's what I think is going to happen. I've already gotten into this because I promised my friend that I would read this. So far, so okay, you know? So this is number 1 in the reading list or in the TBR for October. If you don't know what this is about, I feel like most people do know what this is about against their will, you know? So this is a romantasy with dragons, and it's new adult. 20-year-old Violet Surringale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant. 20-year-old Violet Surringale was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life among books and history. Now the commanding general, also known as her toughest talent's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become the elite of Navarre dragon riders. That was only a little bit of it. I didn't read the entire thing. If you want to go in blind on who the love interest is, that could be interesting. That's what I did. But pretty soon you figure it out, and you figure out what kind of romance this is supposed to be. Enemies to lovers is not my go-to, but I believe in this context, knowing that enemies is supposed to be, oh, we hate each other deeply, everyone wants who they hate to die, like knowing that's the baseline on the morals is fine. In a regular schmegular romance where someone's your bully, I can't do it. No. We're in real life. This is fake life. That will be first. I may start reading something else in tandem. I already did read something else in tandem. It was meh at best, but we move forward. What's interesting is that the other book that I have been wanting to read is on my shelf and is not a part of this haul. And that is Love in Other Words by Christina and Lauren. Every romance girly says that this is a 5-star. I do believe the 5-star feeling is very overwhelming. Not the same as the overwhelm that comes with reading out of your comfort zone, which is this. But I think 2 overwhelming books back to back could be bad. So if I don't feel like reading these back to back, I may insert one of these lighter fluffy books. I think Love on the Brain, or to keep with the season, The Very Secret Society, because it's not super high fantasy from what I've been told. It is more on the romance side. I might get into one of those and then come back to Love in Other Words. Are they all the same name? Let me give you the description. Is it blurbed by anyone? Kristen Harmel, The Book of Lost Names. I've never heard of her. It's described as Macy Sorensen is settling into an ambitious, if emotionally tepid, routine. Work hard as a new pediatrics resident, plan her wedding to an older, financially secure man, keep her head down and heart tucked away. She's married? Can you tell I just go in, buy it, or borrow it and know nothing about what it's about? I went into 4th Wing knowing nothing. I already know that fantasy is not my thing, and I went in knowing nothing. But we move along. But when she runs into Elliot Petropoulos, what a name. Who does this remind me of? Metropolis. Thermopolis. Right? Thermopolis, but he is Petropoulos. When she runs into Elliot Petropoulos, the first and only love of her life, the careful bubble she's constructed begins to dissolve. Once upon a time, Elliot was Macy's entire world, growing from her gangly, bookish friend into the man who coaxed her heart open again, only to break it on the very night he declared his love for her. Do I want to go in not knowing? If you want to know the rest, go ahead, search that up. But I'm going in partially blind because even that little bit might have been too much. Because if I'm honest, I do like going in blind. I think that is my preference. Yeah. So I think the word I was looking for when I was like, oh, reading 2 overwhelming books, what do you put in the middle? A palate cleanser. That's what I mean to say, a palate cleanser. This may be the palate cleanser. I'm not sure this will be because it's still technically out of my comfort zone, but you never know. Until then, I'm gonna read you this description as a part of my theoretical TBR. So, Love on the Brain by Hazelwood. Like an avenging purple-haired Jedi bringing balance to the mansplained universe, B. Konigswasser lives by a simple code. What would Marie Curie do if NASA offered Marie her dream neuroengineering project? She would accept without hesitation. Oh, you can tell this is a library book. There is muck. Okay. But the mother of modern physics never had to co-lead with Levi Ward. Sure, Levi has soul-piercing eyes, and sure, he caught her in his powerfully corded arms like a romance novel hero when she accidentally damseled in distress on her first day in the lab. But Levi made his feelings toward B clear in grad school. Arch enemies work best when employed in their own galaxies far, far away. Now her equipment is missing, the staff ignores her, and B finds her floundering career in somewhat of a pickle. Perhaps it's her occipital cortex playing tricks on her, but B could swear she can see Levi softening into an ally, backing her plays, devouring her with those eyes, and the possibilities have all her neurons firing. When it comes time to actually make a move and put her heart on the line, there's only one question that matters. What will B do? I didn't retain any of that. Lucky me. So that is the haul, the October TBR, fall TBR. In theory, you can expect me more on this channel. Also in theory, to do many things. Don't consider myself a booktuber. This is not my first rodeo. I've posted and deleted many a time. I don't know. I'm feeling good about this little run. I'll have a 4th wing vlog-ish coming. Just so you can see how that's going or how that finishes up. Yeah, that's the end of the video. Let me know some recommendations of non-fantasy, something romance, something true romance that I would like. You know, Abby Jiminez is that girl. I've also been partial to Soraya Wilson, Denise Williams, you know, those types. I heard Kennedy Ryan is also a heart-wrencher, but she might be more intense than Abby. I'll read Emily to figure out if Emily is also more intense than Abby Jiminez. Yeah, I've already heard about Jasmine Guillory. I think I've read just about all of the recent ones except for, or not all the recent ones. I've read the Wedding Date series, and I believe I have the Christmas one left, and then the book that she has in the Meant to Be Disney thing. So yeah, give me some recs, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.